You are sitting in a coffee shop, staring at your laptop, when the bell above the door chimes. You look up and the world just stops. A girl walks in. She has cascading, fiery red hair. As she steps up to the counter to order, the sunlight hits her face, and you notice her eyes. They are a deep, almost impossible shade of violet. Her face is flawlessly symmetrical, like something carved by a Renaissance sculptor. She sits at the table next to yours. She isn't wearing a drop of perfume, yet she smells naturally perfect. A sad song plays on the cafe radio, and you notice a genuine, empathetic tear roll down her cheek. She literally feels the music. You are completely hypnotized. You gather every ounce of courage you possess, stand up, walk over to her table, open your mouth to say, "Hi," and your alarm goes off. It was just a dream. You just lay there, heart racing and dumbfounded. And you ask yourself, does a person like that actually exist? Statistically, yes. But before you get your hopes up, I should warn you. Statistically speaking, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning while getting bitten by a shark on the surface of the planet Mars than you do of dating this girl. Why? Because finding her means hunting down a biological ghost. Out of the 8 billion people alive today, what would the mathematically rarest, most genetically perfect human actually look like? To answer that, we need to break human biology down trait by trait, starting with the eyes. When it comes to eye color, up to 80% of the human population has brown eyes. If you want rare eyes, you might look for hazel or amber, which sit at about 5% of the population. Gray eyes sit at 3%, and green eyes are incredibly rare, found in just 2% of people. But we are building the absolute rarest human possible, so we are bypassing all of those and giving them red or violet eyes. This requires a microscopic biological anomaly. It only happens in severe cases of albinism, where there is a complete lack of melanin in the iris, allowing the red blood vessels in the back of the eye to show through. When that red light blends with the natural scattering of light in the eye, the result is deep red, indigo, or violet. This optical illusion occurs in only 0.01% of people. That is a 1 in 10,000 probability. Next, we need to choose hair color. Black and brown hair completely dominate the globe. Blonde hair is relatively rare, naturally occurring in only about 3% of the world. But the absolute rarest natural hair color on Earth is red. Most humans have a functioning MC1R gene, which converts reddish-yellow pigments into dark pigments. But in redheads, this gene is completely broken. The switch never flips, resulting in vibrant red hair. Because it's a recessive trait, a person must inherit the broken gene from both parents. This occurs in roughly 2% of people, or a 1 in 50 probability. Combining red hair with violet eyes, our rare human now has a 1 in 500,000 chance of existing. Now, let's look at facial features. A lot of people have distinct traits. Dimples, for example, are considered cute, but they are actually a genetic muscle defect found in 20% of people. A cleft chin is rarer, found in about 6% of the population. But the rarest and most striking facial feature we can give our human is the eyes from your dream, a double row of eyelashes. The medical term for this is Distichiasis. It is a rare genetic misfire where the oil glands in your eyelids fully develop into a second, separate row of hair follicles. It creates a permanently thick, striking, lined eye look, famously possessed by Hollywood actress Elizabeth Taylor. The chance of having this genetic trait is roughly 1 in 10,000 people. Combining this, our human now has a 1 in 5 billion chance of existing. Let's move to the structure of the face itself. Beauty is subjective, but evolutionary biology relies on mathematics. The human brain is hardwired to be attracted to facial symmetry, specifically aligning with the golden ratio, or phi, approximately 1.618. For a face to be clinically symmetrical, the distance from the hairline to the eyes to the bottom of the nose, and the nose to the chin must be mathematically identical. True, flawless facial symmetry without a dominant side occurs in roughly 1 in 10,000 people. Combining this, our human's probability drops to 1 in 50 trillion. But a perfect human isn't just about looks. Let's talk about scent. Most normal humans sweat, and a condition called hyperhidrosis makes about 5% of people sweat excessively. Body odor is caused when bacteria on your skin eat the proteins in your sweat. But we are giving our human the rarest sweat trait on Earth, a mutation in the ABCC11 gene. Because their gene is mutated, the body never secretes those proteins. The bacteria starve. As a result, they are completely incapable of producing body odor. This mutation is found in about 1 in 50 people globally. Combining this trait, our human's probability drops to 1 in 2.5 quadrillion. Now we need to upgrade their brain, starting with raw intelligence. The global average IQ is 100. If you have an IQ of 130, you are in the top 2% of the world and qualify for Mensa. But we are pushing our human to the absolute extreme. We are giving them an IQ of 160 or higher, the estimated intellect of Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. To reach this level of profound giftedness, the brain's neural networks must be astonishingly efficient. This level of genius occurs in only about 0.003% of the population, which is roughly 1 in 30,000 people. Combining this, our human now has a 1 in 75 quintillion chance of existing. Next, we give them the perfect personality. The most highly sought-after trait in a partner is empathy. Some people have high emotional intelligence. Some people have mild synesthesia, where they associate numbers with colors, which happens in about 1 in 2,000 people. But we are giving our human the rarest form, Mirror-Touch Synesthesia. In their brain, the somatosensory cortex is unusually hyperactive. If they see you stub your toe, they actually feel a flash of pain in their own foot. If you are happy and someone hugs you, they physically feel the pressure of that hug on their own body. Their nervous system literally experiences emotions alongside you. This occurs in about 1 in 50 people. Our human now has a 1 in 3.75 sextillion chance of existing. Finally, let's look at memory. A lot of people claim to have a photographic memory, but true eidetic memory is almost non-existent in adults. The rarest memory trait on Earth is actually hyperthymesia, or highly superior autobiographical memory. Because of an enlarged pathway in the brain, they involuntarily record and permanently store every single day of their life. If you ask what you ate on a random Tuesday 5 years ago, they will tell you flawlessly. Globally, only about 100 cases of true hyperthymesia have been confirmed. Out of a population of 8 billion, that gives a probability of 1 in 80 million. To recap, we took the 8 billion people on Earth and gave our human violet eyes, red hair, double eyelash mutation, golden ratio face, odor-free gene, Einstein-level IQ, empathy superpower, and a perfect memory. When we multiply these traits together, the total probability of that exact human existing brings the number to 1 in 300,000 septillion. To put that into perspective, the number of stars in the observable universe is roughly 1 septillion. You would need 300,000 entire universes, all populated exactly like Earth, just to find one person with this exact genetic combination. But the universe is weird. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's say, through a complete breakdown of mathematical laws, this impossible human does exist, and she is the girl from your dream. She walks into the coffee shop. You walk up to her. What are the odds of her actually becoming your girlfriend? To calculate this, we must take a look at you. You are currently slouched over, watching a YouTube video about the math of imaginary humans. Your posture resembles a cooked shrimp. Your dopamine receptors are completely fried from doom-scrolling short-form content. You avoid phone calls because they give you anxiety. Your diet is predominantly processed carbohydrates, and you haven't engaged your cardiovascular system since high school gym class. This extremely rare, mathematically perfect, hyper-empathetic genius has 4 billion men on Earth to choose from. So, what is the probability that her 160 IQ brain scans your asymmetrical face, observes your erratic sleep schedule, and decides that you are the ultimate biological mate she wants to spend the rest of her life with? To find that out, we take our previous probability of 300,000 septillion and we multiply it by 0. The result is exactly 0. Like I said at the beginning, you have better odds on Mars with a shark. The harsh reality of mathematics is that perfection does not exist, and even if it did, it would be entirely out of your league. But there is a strangely comforting truth hidden in the numbers. You don't need a 1 in 300,000 septillion genetic anomaly to be happy. The point of human connection isn't to find a biologically flawless mutant who doesn't sweat and has violet eyes. The point is to find someone whose deeply weird, highly improbable genetic flaws perfectly complement your own deeply weird, highly improbable flaws. So, fix your posture, step away from the screen, go outside and talk to someone in the real world. Or, just stay here. Subscribe and click on the next video. Your odds can't get any worse.